He's fine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 12th and final episode. Well, maybe final. It's probably going to be the final of Tales from Rankia. Yeah, we're here. We're ready.
I'm sad. I don't want to do this.
Yeah. Hey, it might not be the last
week.
It might not be the last ever episode we ever do, but you know, for at least this mini campaign is going to be the last one. So, for a recap, I'll try and do a big one, but you know, my brain's a little bit fuzzy at the minute. So, for this party, which you guys don't really have a name, although I think the worthy was thrown out at some point. You guys, after meeting on your own accord, took a adventure, your first ever adventure, which was the Lost Vault of Avantir, which was this little dungeon delve. Where you took a job for an old wizard in Emberspire by the name of Otto Bramblemouse. An innocent little quest, or so you thought. You went to this little swamp town of Avantir, where this old mayor had got this witch to enchant his old vault that it would only open under the Blood Comet, that only came around every few hundred years. And you managed to make your way there. You fought off some goblins, and you made your way inside, only to discover that it was not just a vault of an old mayor, but it was said a suspicious trial for the Lord of Lies, Asmodeus. And so you ended up going through the whole trial, and you succeeded. When the roof was collapsing, you succeeded the trial and got out of there alive. But in doing so, you were all marked with this infernal mark on the base of your neck that has since haunted you for the past, probably hasn't been that long, it's probably only been like a week or two, and has sent you on a bit of a journey. You discovered Otto Bramblemouse was dead. The map that you took from the Vault of Avantir had been stolen, which you then discovered was by a librarian in the Great Library of Balinor, a flying library in the sky on the back of a whale. You've discovered a cultist invasion in the city. You discovered this librarian was in fact a Cambion by the name of Casimir, who had infiltrated this library over the past 50 years. And when you finally confronted him, it seemed that your marks activated something he was looking for in his office, and he discovered a book, and you had a bit of a confrontation where he sliced down Zaxxon and charmed him, and it was a whole thing. Anyway, you finally, after searching around for clues and everything, the past session occurred where you found where Kazath, this city of Asmodeus, this lost city, is, where Casimir is holding out, where you discovered that your good friend Frederick was kidnapped and you believed to have been taken there, and you gathered allies from like Dreadstone, like the wizard that you rescued, Eliana, Red Cloak, and the Ebonheart lady, the pregnant woman that you saved from the village, and you gathered up all your allies, including Belgraw, and you went on this massive full frontal attack on the lost city of Asmodeus, where you were teleported in. You fought your way up to the front gates, fighting off these cultists that were transformed as they tried to mark themselves and become worthy just like you, but unsuccessful, and they'd kind of mutated themselves into horrible creatures. But you fought your way to the top after rescuing some hostages, one of which being of slight importance to Chuck after meeting in the fog market in Balinor. and then you rescued Frederick, but eventually you had your final confrontation with Casimir. And after a difficult fight, Casimir was slain, finally. But mid-fight, he did manage to charm Gabriel. And as he was fighting you, he was just saying, all you have to do is touch the door, and this can all be over. The gates. But he did throw Gabriel against the gates. And as he died, you saw Gabriel's handprint on the door. And the doors swung open. And you saw for the first time into the lost city, Kazath. And you saw all the lost souls that you had heard about, and even seen one themselves being dragged towards Kazath itself. And you see them all twisted and malformed, standing but stopped on the threshold of the gates, unable to pass through. And you see them on the other side, and you watch the soul of Casimir be dragged in through the gates as he dies. And as you spend some time kind of gathering up any of his equipment, being the loot goblins you are, you yourselves are drawn in, and you pass through the gates as your marks begin to burn on your neck, and as you pass through, all these souls, twisted and malformed, translucent and kind of blue and shimmering, look at you and they bow in reverence. And that's where we left off, with the party finally making their way into this ancient city of Asmodeus. So, bear with me for a second, because apparently my mic is fucked, so give me 2 secs.
Sounds fun.
But I will say, before I fix this, I'll give you guys a chance to do some things. So, as we get in, I need a few things to happen here. So, first thing I need to happen is Enna. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Off to a good start.
Why?
So,
No.
About that rescheduling for next week. You fucking monster.
In addition to that, you can
Wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Yeah. In addition to that, any items you have acquired over the past, recently, you can instantly, as you step into Kazath, you feel stronger, more powerful, and more confident. Though there is an element of dread in the pit of your stomach, though there is still that power there. You can attune to any items that you have recently acquired instantly, without requiring any time or rest. So you can do that now if you like. And additionally, as you step in, the mark on your neck is burning, and you definitely feel more powerful here in Kazath, especially. As these spirits, these souls bow to you, it fills you with a sense of not only importance, but you almost feel it's unnatural to feel this, and you question it immediately, but there's almost a sense of like divinity to it. And if you look on your character sheets, I pointed this out when we were here before, but Kevin, you'll see this too. Under the features tab, you will find a new feature that you will have access to while in Kazath. So make sure you give those a read while I sort this out. Oh, Enna. Okay, roll me a d10, please.
No.
You're finally getting your demon shit. Or devil
No.
Wait, Anna didn't?
shit. No, Anna was the only one that didn't have shit.
I've always saved.
What does Chuck
Yep.
have? I don't remember.
No, wait, I got horns. Didn't
Chuck
I
has
get
hooves.
horns?
No, I don't think you did.
I could have sworn I did. I got something cute though. Oh, fuck.
Oh wait, no. Yeah, it was you did get horns or something like that. In the last
yeah.
fight, whenever I pissed off Casimir.
You
He read
did?
from
I
the
did,
book
I
or-
did.
He read from the book after I was like, "LOL, your mom's dead."
Oh, you did? Okay, then. Okay, so.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So what did Chuck get? Chuck's got
Chuck has hooves.
hooves. Ed's got horns.
I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
nails.
Okay.
I made it so long.
Jackson has wings.
Pip's got like the little bone. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Pips is a pin cushion.
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. Never mind. You good. You don't need to roll.
Oh, bless. All right.
My Discord, like, I don't know what happened. Everybody cut out for a sec. You said something about we can do something in our inventory now while you were
So,
fixing your microphone.
You can
I
say
missed.
that you make sure you read the new feature you have underneath
Yes.
your yeah. Make sure you're aware of that. So let
Okay.
me fix this my
Got
mic
it.
for a second, because it's for some reason it's only. Can you guys only hear me on one side? Like
No,
when
I
I
sound fine.
I hear you.
You
on both,
fine?
what the fuck?
You're being trolled.
Hold on.
Never
One day.
trust Twitch chat.
Are we? So when we walked in here, you said you felt like renewed, rested. Is that like the
Full
equivalent of
sleep
of a long
cycle.
rest?
Healed because
Night
your
and day
girl's
cycle.
hurting.
No, you
Oh.
do not.
Speaking
But-
of recovery,
No,
Okay,
you just feel like it's more of your spirit itself. You feel like a
okay.
sense of confidence and like
I see.
power to yourself that you didn't feel before.
divinity, huh? Oh shit.
Yeah, there's an element of divinity to you. Okay, let me.
Pip's feeling great.
Bastard.
I mean, his little legs. It took him a while to get to the fight, but in typical Pip fashion, put in work.
He made the final blow.
I'd like to think as Chuck walks, it just sounds like heels hitting tile.
Chat
Yeah, so much
test.
for stealth.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
That should be good now.
And walking into cousins.
so much stuff. The whole gaggle of people in here are like King.
As you kind of come in here, I'm good now, by the way. A few things to point out. So you step in and you see, your eyes immediately kind of, let me get you a bit of a visual of what you're seeing.
Ooh.
This is, but your eyes like follow Casimir's soul as it's kind of coming in. But this is kind of what you'll see. Just a small glimpse of the city.
Ooh.
Very much the only light you're getting is the dim lights of the souls that it's like wandering throughout. And it's very dark stone. The stonework itself is very well made. Like this is you can tell this was a very thriving city when it was active. The architecture itself is like a mix between there's elements of dwarven and elven architecture. Definitely like you can tell they had the best here, but there is this kind of like gothic and kind of pointed infernal element to everything. You see like chains kind of mixed in to the architecture and like iron bars. There's a lot of just kind of just hellish aspects that give this city a bit of a different feel. And yeah, it's very dark. Other than the the light that you see.
That's
And
amazing.
You watch Casimir kind of drift through, and as you're kind of taking this all in, and kind of you feel the mark on your neck burning, you watch as Casimir, kind of his form goes from this small mote of just light, and then he kind of forms into himself. And then you see him go up to one of these individuals. And embrace them. You see him embracing a woman. An elderly woman, a human. You're kind of seeing this from behind, and you can see her face, but it's barely a face. Because her face is twisted and distorted into, it seems to be both mid-scream and like mid-cry. It's kind of horrifying to look at, but you can see elements of the woman she once was. She was a human, maybe like in her 50s or so, and she, whoever ghost hugs, she's not hugging back. What would you like to do?
Oh boy.
Oh.
Okay, so this is a lot to process. Okay.
Something not okay. Are those like little people at the bottom? Is that like kind of like the scale?
Yeah, these
Those
are like
little people.
These are like ghosts down here. These
That's
are
like,
souls.
holy fuck!
It's literally
So-
a ghost town.
That guy's having a great time.
So
Hold on.
Fuck yeah! Welcome to King.
I've already identified them as the AOL Instant Messenger guy. That's where they went.
Oh my god.
AOL died.
It's canon
It
now.
was
Is this
reborn.
the
that's
dark
what was
web?
making me laugh. That's what was
they
making me
they
laugh.
ended up in Kazakh.
As soon as you
Okay.
said that, I said, "Wait a minute, I had to look it up."
So
But
from
you're
the
right.
look on their faces, the souls that are trapped here are tormented, right?
It seems like they are.
They don't want to be here. They're trapped.
Make an insight check, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking weird.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'd say that for the most part, yes, they are. I'll say this: the faces you see are static. They are. They're not moving. There is not like like they're not screaming. There is not like an animation in their emotion. They're all frozen in fear or anguish or despair. There are some that are like vacant almost, just staring off into the distance, that seem emotionless, or so it's difficult to tell whether they're all, whether tormenting is like active and present tense. There's something active going on. You can't tell whether that is happening because they're just frozen, so you don't know whether that's the case. Though, go on, Gabriel.
I'm sorry. No.
You're okay.
No.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
No. I don't want to cut you off. Oh my god. Please don't hurt me.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying, like, just during this, he's watching kind of the interaction. His head kind of tilts, and he's gonna focus on trying to sense any undead in 60 feet around him, like looking at these spirits and looking at, with the boon of the Raven Queen.
Your boon was given to you for this reason. You have found what you're looking for. These are lost souls. These people aren't supposed to be here.
So they're the souls of the people that couldn't be resurrected.
Yeah.
That's me saying that in character.
I think the birds have shown us here.
Am I wrong, or didn't the soul the guy with are we sure we want to do something?
We have to do something. These souls aren't meant to be here. They're trapped.
But where do they go from here?
I mean,
Home.
why do you think the resurrections weren't working?
What if they're here for a reason?
I'd like to know why they are here.
Didn't the soul of the guy we just killed come in here?
I mean, yeah, but if... whether it be moving on to some paradise or to the seven hells, I mean, they're not supposed to be here. This place is a giant vacuum, and if we're deemed worthy and we're meant to take control of this place, shouldn't we make that our priority to let these people go?
But then what do you have control over?
The literal soul sucking that's happening.
Can we pick and choose?
I don't even know how the souls are being sucked into this city. There's so much that we still don't know. Is there a purpose for them to all be here?
Have any of the spirits, or just as we're walking around and seeing this, are any of them talking? Have they said or made any noise at all? Just like even I know their faces are inanimate, but just any sound from them at all.
There is a whispering that, with the sound from outside, was difficult to hear at first, but there is a faint whispering coming from the more that's difficult to pick up with the kind of cacophony of battle outside, which kind of at this point you look back, and because you're pretty close to the threshold, the gate, and you watch as one of those cultists that had tried to mark themselves, covered in pale, eyelids missing, lips missing, all covered in marks and shit, runs up and sees Casimir's body, and then looks up towards you all, and runs up, like running straight towards you, and then reaches up and grasps onto what looks like handles and starts pulling, like in the middle of the air, like two big handles, and starts like pulling. And you say, "I fucking failed. It won't fucking open." And then from behind, there's just like a bolt of fire, and the guy drops down, and you see Elena Stormcloak just fly off into the distance after casting a spell, dropping the guy.
So the doors opened for us, but they still look closed to others.
Interesting.
So they're not even our
Wow.
allies are gonna know that we're inside.
Like Van Helsing, like in the name of God, open this door. Like kind of like in Dracula's castle. That is all I can think.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Oh God.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, so we can't rely on anybody else except ourselves.
Should we tell some? Can we contact? Can we?
Is there
kind of
any
points. Yeah.
No. Yeah, that's like
Our people.
I'm
We
sorry.
need to tell them
Go
we're
ahead.
in. Yeah.
I don't think
Does anyone still have a whistle at this point?
I mean, I still have my whistle,
Hmm.
but I don't think if the door is still closed, you know, eh, I'm assuming the doorway was almost a portal in a
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
So we're not even on, I mean, for all we know, we could be on an entirely different plane of existence.
I'm gonna walk towards Casimir and this woman. I'm gonna get as close as I can and see if they either of them like recognize or well no they were you said that some people had like some of these spirits had bowed or something of the sort as we came in.
Yeah, they're like bowing to all of you. So you start to head towards them. Okay, so just walking closer. That's what you do.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like as I get closer, gauging their reaction, if any.
At this point, Casimir's just kind of, he's not hugging her anymore. He's kind of holding her hands, and he seems to be talking to her in like a whispered tone. And as you begin walking away from the gate, the entrance, with the sounds of battle kind of leaving, you begin to hear more of the whispers kind of coming through, and you hear some of them as they bow and look up to you. Are the rest of you following Zaxxon, or are you staying back?
I am going to be looking around for any kind of signage, symbols, anything that may be like giving us some kind of inclination as to what is happening or where we need to go.
Okay. Make me a perception
Pip will have
check.
followed.
Perception. Okay.
As you kind of follow along and follow with Zaxxon, you also begin to hear the same whispering, and you can hear some of the voices. You hear, "Save us! Change us! Unleash us! Rule us!" And then it kind of, "Save us! Change us! Help us! Unleash us! Rule us!" All coming from different individuals as you move forward. Some of them sound desperate. Some more. Go ahead and make me a group insight check.
Oh, dude, this is crazy.
shit, my insight is on point tonight. Let's go.
Hold on.
Oh my god, Chuck.
Yo!
Chuck
Chuck.
rolls are back.
Chuck rolls are back.
God
rolls are
awful.
back.
Chuck has just been
fucking
looking
dive.
over this scene. He's just staring down these people.
Chuck was given the script as he walked through the gate.
Chuck,
Okay,
Chuck hit the memo.
yeah, with the group insight check, you all gather. There's definitely a mixed bag here of these individuals. Some they're all bowing to you, like they all are bowing in reverence. They all see you for what you are with the mark, though each are doing for whether or not I'll say Chuck specifically. Difficult to get a read on undead, but I'll say with a natural 20 you can do it. I'd say some of them are doing it more willingly than others. There's definitely an element of like magical coercion for some of them. And they're with what they're saying through the whispers. Some of them want help, but some of them want something much more. They want more from you all. What exactly that is? There's like an element of Chuck. I'll say you specifically. I want to give you something on a natural 20.
Okay.
I will say that what it reminds you of is back in, maybe this was a long time ago.
If you're going where I think you're going, go ahead.
But like back in when you were in the war. Like the nights before a battle. When you had those young soldiers sat around the campfire talking each other up about how they were gonna, kill those dragonborn, rip off their tails and break their jaws. There was that like eagerness for blood. You hear that in some of the voices.
I'm gonna ask a question. I feel like it was sort of explained, but it wasn't directly answered. Are we as a party being acknowledged? And by acknowledge, I mean as we are walking, do people are these?
They've been bowing to us.
Yeah, they
okay,
they bow to
see
you.
it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they're like
in that case,
speaking to you. Yeah.
Gotcha. Chuck is going to. I'm gonna say, and I guess this is just I don't think anyone needs to roll or have any idea for this. Chuck's gonna look like he was startled when he got here, and I'd imagine at this point, Chuck is going to very slowly pull out his revolver, his gun, and just have it like tucked under his arm.
Okay.
But he's going to look startled.
Sure.
And I'm going to say people probably saw that.
So, Zaxxon and the group, as you approach the spirit of Casimir and this woman, he turns and notices you. And there's a glance of immediate, like, frustration and hatred seeing you come towards this moment that he's having. And then he kind of wraps his arm around this woman and they both kind of dissipate and like turn into these little balls of light and spin down a street and disappear into the fog.
It's kind of cute.
You
It's
are
very insubordinate.
you are
Sorry.
you are looking around for any kind of signs of where you are or anything.
Mhm.
Signs and stuff. You kind of looking around. This is very much like a There's no like houses or anything here. There's kind of like you can tell that. What did you roll on perception? Let's see. 18. Okay.
I think it was an 18, yeah.
So you're looking for just signs of where you are and where you need to go. Was that what it was?
Yes.
Okay. Where you are specifically, I think you gather pretty easily that this is the main and at least back when the city was active, this was like the main entrance. Like this was definitely a an entrance to the city. You can see that there was there's like a small guard post off to one side, like a small like guard barracks. That there is a sign on the outside, but like you can see like weapon racks and like chairs and tables for guards to sit at, and it's clear that this was like a wide thoroughfare for a lot of people to come in and out of, horses and carts and things like that. And it's clear that this was just a big main entrance for, whether it be tourists or just people coming in and out. This is where that happened. Kind of in front of you. Well, I guess the big thing you notice is kind of, given this is a wide space, you finally kind of glance around and it's very recognizable to you from the dreams you've had. This is the place that you dreamt of. All those times back after the vault. The big, almost crater-like city surrounded by dark mountains, and not too far off, over the other side of the city, you see a throne carved from a mountain, the size of, a mountain. It's massive. It looms over the whole city, casting a shadow from the moonlight, kind of darkening the whole kind of half of a city. And it brings you back to those glimpses of your brother, who, now thinking back, perhaps the premonition you had was him ending up here if you didn't save him.
Huh. Okay. Which means that if one of us were to take up the mantle, we would transform into something big enough to fit in that mountain-sized throne. That's crazy.
Oh my god,
Nobody wants to pass that fat.
We need to rest. And I have no idea how to even speak upon that right now.
And one thing you do notice is kind of stepping through as kind of these souls clear the way, whispering to you. Is the city is very well maintained. It doesn't look like there was like an apocalypse or anything, everything seems to be in order.
Fallen to ruin over time.
There is elements of the city that is like slightly caved, like slightly to ruin. Like there's a few overgrown areas, but for the most part, the architecture and everything is in good shape. It seemed to have just been like frozen in time for the most part. But that's the thing that kind of stands out to you is the cobbled streets. There is elements of like bumps in the road that aren't really adding up with the rest of everything else being in good shape.
So is that alluding to the fact that there may be living beings here as well as the souls?
That's for you to,
Discover.
make interpretation of, but it's almost like something has like forced up the cobbles in places. You'd have to go and inspect it further if you'd like. Pip?
Okay.
Pip is gonna cast detect magic.
Okay.
I think
See if there's anything afoot, anything out of the ordinary.
Anything afoot. Okay. Are you doing that as a ritual?
Yes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Great. Zaxxon, go ahead.
I think just after Casimir and presumably his mother flooded away, I was going to have him do a look around as well, but if the throne is towering over the city, I think anybody who would glance over at Zaxxon, he's probably just staring at that pretty intently, not really looking anywhere else.
Okay.
And I'm gonna slowly just walk towards it. He's sort of hobbling because he is still pretty cut up.
Beat up, yeah. I do want to go ahead and inspect the cobblestones and whatnot.
Okay.
A bit more.
Okay. Go ahead and make me not a perception check. If you're going to inspect the cobbles to try and figure out what exactly it might be, make an investigation check. So just do the same roll, but just what is your investigation instead? What is the plus to it?
Oh, it's 2.
Plus 2 instead, so it'd be a 14. That's fine.
14, yeah.
With a 14, I'd say like the bumps and the cobbles, you kind of follow Zaxxon because you kind of he's walking in the direction of them, and you kind of start to notice them, as you're walking across the cobbles, and you follow them a little bit, and they almost like there's like a pattern to them, not like a distinct repetitive pattern, but they almost go in like lines, like you can follow the bumps and almost predict where they're gonna go, and it's almost like something has something might have grown underneath here, like maybe like roots or vines, or maybe there was a tunnel, and something was like pushed up underneath. You're not 100% sure, but then you kind of just ahead of where Zaxxon is walking, you do see a crack in the ground on where one of these is, one of these bumps is.
Okay. That makes me sus, and I feel like perhaps before we start venturing too far away, we should collect ourselves, we should rest, and kind of get our bearings before we proceed.
Has it been 10 minutes,
Listen.
but also, does Pip notice anything?
You can.
And then,
Are you looking for are you doing the same thing Enna's? Like, are you like following along with Enna, or are you looking for something like different?
Not necessarily looking for anything different. Like,
Or you just usually you detect magic? Is that what you're asking?
yes,
Okay.
to see if there's anything uh abnormal, I guess.
Okay. You at this point, it's what. First of all, I guess I will definitely get to you just 2 seconds. But are you saying any of that in character, or is that like an out character thing you're saying?
What?
Or you
Like
just everything you just said was that?
Yes. Well, that's what I was gonna say is that it's like I'm gonna relay everything that I'm noticing
Mhm.
to the others, and that because I don't know about y'all, but if something could have been tunneling under the ground and then there's a crack up ahead, I'm not trying to have some. I've seen tremors, okay? I'm not trying to have some big worm jump out and then we end up in a fight and we all busted up anyway. So, like, I'm just gonna kind of, suggest that we kind of, guys, we should probably like get our bearings. We need to, recover before we proceed. We need to be smart about this because, uh, you know, this could be it for one, if not all of us. And we really shouldn't go running in half-cocked.
I agree.
Gabriel's like not in that conversation because he's like 30 feet the other way, already trying to start a fire. So
Why?
like,
Why are you
because
like this?
yeah, he's already ahead of you. he's
Okay,
setting up
well,
camp.
that's fine. We can just, we'll meander towards,
Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
I just
As-
imagine Gabriel sitting in a corner with 2 sticks.
Oh yeah, it's not going well for him at all.
You probably would have had to
You don't have
break
a
down like
tinderbox?
a chair
He's
or
not
something.
used that.
Because there's like no wood, so it's like you just broken down one of the local chairs.
She's trying to light a fire to stone.
Yeah.
trying to.
I have a tinderbox, so I can at least help with that.
At this point, Pip, your detect magic goes off, and your kind of eyes glaze over blue. And obviously, you're picking up all these kind of souls around. And there's definitely like a glaze of magic over all of them. But then you look down, and like under your feet, where these bumps in the cobbles are, you see these these lines of magic, like these thick cylindrical lines of magic of varying length and thickness that kind of go through the ground, and they look like roots.
Oh.
Is there a like specific type of magic that Pip would sense?
It's very strong. It's very powerful. It's very old. The type of magic that you detect, it's definitely I'd say it has it's definitely got divine elements to it, so it's like there's definitely like elements of like power from the gods in there. But in terms of like the schools of magic that it might be from, I would say there's elements of abjuration in there. Yeah, I'd say definitely abjuration. I would say, let me see. I want to see. I'd say abjuration
Are we talking
and
like ley
and
lines?
and necromancy, I would say.
Oh hell.
Are the two that I would put that as.
Hmm.
And maybe even like a hint of conjuration too, but that's more involved in the abjuration.
Hmm. Oh wait, I was gonna ask a question, but I don't know that. So
Nobody has like stepped on any of these, correct?
No, nobody's stepped on any. You do notice that crack that Enna saw, like there is this kind of root of this magic that you can see is close to the surface where that crack is.
Oh, do I want to do something stupid?
I wonder if you're about to do the same thing I'm thinking.
No.
Maybe we
not
should
that.
sleep on
please,
it.
let us rest, please.
Pip!
I'm gonna go over to.
There's
Gabriel.
tea. We made tea over here.
I'm thirsty.
Oh, thank God.
Shit.
Okay, Zaxxon and Chuck, what are you two have got something to do? What are you doing?
Oh, I was going to go rest and you just mess with the sword, and I want to learn how it fucking works. That's
Okay.
all I was gonna say.
I mean, you could instantly attune to it as soon as you got
Oh.
here. So
Oh shit. Okay.
Does
Nice.
wait, what happened?
yeah, I did mention this, but you as soon as you entered Kazath, you could instantly attune to any item that you weren't already attuned to. So, and then Chuck, what were you gonna do?
Does Chuck notice anything suspicious or weird about the cracks by chance? Or anything that wouldn't have been iterated?
Are you
Chuck
going
would
up to
realize?
inspect the crack in the ground?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Chuck would. He's already skeptical.
Okay. Okay, you go up to this crack in the ground that the others have avoided religiously. And as you go up to it, the cobbles have kind of split open, and there's some dirt and soil underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like
you
I don't exist.
you notice it's not a big hole in the ground, but you notice a white tree root like has kind of pushed its way up like out of the cobbles and then gone back under. And you notice that like the immediate thing that stands out to you is like it's white, it's like alabaster,
Mhm.
and within the way it's grown, it almost like in the knots of the wood are like these it almost looks like magical symbols. Like instead of them being carved in, they've grown in to the knots of the wood.
Okay. How far away is the campfire that we're resting at compared to these roots? This crack.
Probably about 40 feet or so.
Bear with me for 1 second. Chuck's not gonna go near the crack, but within the vicinity of it, he's just gonna very carefully lay down his arcane battery and walk over to the party,
Okay. All right.
just near the crack.
As we're sitting there at the campfire, I'm gonna take the matron's warhammer and I'm gonna give it to Gabriel. And I don't think I need this much anymore. It
Okay.
was more fitting for you anyway.
Is it used for construction or? Thanks.
Ah, Gabriel, how do you explain all this? Surely, science isn't an explanation for spirits, the way we feel.
Ah, um,
It's funny, we started this for a spot of coin, and you, at least to my understanding, did this too.